Shalom Israel, ISUPK Florida coming to you to invite you to the Florida Cookout. So come down in the middle of December, December 21st through the 23rd. There is a 0% chance of snow. Come out for some good food, good brotherhood, southern hospitality. Come kick it with the brothers in Florida. Hope to see y'all there. This is the ISUPK and the Commanding General Yohana. Shalom.
We gon' make the whole hood. I'm from Florida, where niggas known for being Glock 9 told us no hosters. We draw that shit from our drawers like we supposed to. Landed the soldiers, but we surrounded by death and vultures. Way too many of my niggas end up with t-shirts. You might be in harm's reach if you step on the nigga sneaks in the city of Palm Beach, so you better get 6 feet. No corona, but
Shalom Israel, ISUPK Florida coming to you to invite you to the Florida Cookout. So come down in the middle of December, December 21st through the 23rd. There is a 0% chance of snow. Come out for some good food, good brotherhood, southern hospitality. Come kick it with the brothers in Florida. Hope to see y'all there. This is the ISUPK and the Commanding General Yohana. Shalom.
we gon' make the whole hood. I'm from Florida, where niggas known for being Glock 9 told us no hosters. We draw that shit from our drawers like we supposed to. Landed the soldiers, but we surrounded by death and vultures. Way too many of my niggas end up on t-shirts and posters. You might be in harm's reach if you step on the nigga sneaks in the city of Palm Beach, so you better get 6 feet. No corona, but
Shalom Israel, ISUPK Florida coming to you to invite you to the Florida Cookout. So come down in the middle of December, December 21st through the 23rd. There is a 0% chance of snow. Come out for some good food, good brotherhood, southern hospitality. Come kick it with the brothers in Florida. Hope to see y'all there. This is the ISUPK and the Commanding General Yohana.
Hey, shalom. Shalom, Yabashim Shabbat. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, back in 1969. We are under Commanding General Yohana. This is ISUPK Florida. Priest and Officer Kazak Damar, ISUPK Duval. I see Itazab down there. They are there in West Palm and Riviera Beach. I'm here at the Brentwood Library. Hey, Brentwood Library does close at 8 o'clock. So if you're in the area, you can stop by. If not, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna transfer it over to the brothers down there at home. They ain't got no hours. They got to get out. They can stay there as long as they want and teach the people as long as the Lord allow. All right. But what we do here every Monday, mandatory class for Florida, is we come with the law, statutes, and commandments. We come with rebuilding and regrouping and getting this thing together and bringing the Lord's people back into being one nation on one accord under our King, Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, in the spirit of one West. Let me go ahead. Hey, Itazab, you ever seen these? Look, check this out. Yeah, you ever seen these before? Fresh off UPKFL wear. Got the shades. Y'all make sure y'all check that out. Brother is doing major things down here. So anyway, what I want to do is get into the Bible, right? I got a little few minutes, and then I'm gonna have to go on audio. So y'all be ready. You can let the shop know, or unless you can take it over when I say about 45 minutes. I'm gonna transfer over. All right. So what we're gonna do is, anybody got any questions? Go ahead and ask your questions, and we're gonna do our best to answer them through the scriptures. In the meantime, what I will do is go through a couple of scriptures that I got about salvation. I don't know. What y'all want to talk about? You got any questions, Itazab? Nah. All right. Anybody in the chat got any questions? Shalom Gabar, Crystal, Shia Rob, Mashah. Shalom, everybody that's in here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all be at the cookout. I know y'all seen the commercial. Itazab is cooking for all of Israel. Everybody who show up, Itazab is going to cook for you. All right? So y'all be ready. If nobody got no questions, we will go ahead and jump into one of my favorite scriptures, Hebrews chapter 5, verse 12. In the meantime, Hebrews 5 and 12. Let's get that.
Come on.
Well, you got it?
Come
on with it. You kind of low though.
on, is this better?
Yeah, it might be me, brother.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. Yeah, I got you turned down. Go ahead.
Come on, the book of Hebrews, chapter 5, verse 12. For when for the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principle of the oracles of God.
Now, this is where we at right now. Time where we ought to be teachers, and we have need that somebody teach us again. Why we have need that somebody teach us again is simply because they taught us a lie about the Bible. They taught us a lie about who God was. They taught us a lie about, what we supposed to be doing in this time. They taught us a lie about who we were. They said we was African Americans and we cannot come from two different continents, both named after white men. Nope. They taught us that the Lord, the people that's in the land right now, that's over there bombing the hell out of these Palestinians and unaliving babies and all of that for the sake of this oil, they taught us that those people were the people of God. When the true reality is that the Lord said in the last days, the people of God will be in mourning. The people of God will be wishing that they can get out of the situation that they're in. If you go to Luke chapter 1 and 68, it talks about our Redeemer redeeming us back and getting us out of the hands of those that hate us, right? But they ain't never teach us that. They taught us that salvation was floating in the air with little white naked babies with bow and arrows, as opposed to being able to live as gods within the earth. But then the Bible say you are gods. But then the Bible say you shall be above all nations on the face of the earth. But then the Bible say he was going to raise up a king, and the people that follow him was going to be those that rule. And Christ said, when I'm raised up on my throne in a regeneration, you will sit on thrones judging the children of Israel, and the children of Israel will judge the rest of the nations. They ain't teach us that. So now we got to start all over with who are you? Who are you, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian? Who are you? Who are you? Who is the real children of God? Who is your God? Is your God the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? Because a white man named Caesar Borgia is not him. It's not God, right? Who is your God? We have to battle with people based on them understanding of who Christ was, whether he was God, when he clearly said, I am not come for my own glory, but the glory of him that sent me. So why would you even have to have that battle if you wasn't taught wrong? There's a time where we ought to be teaching our people how to serve the Most High, but we have need that one teach us again. Keep going.
Salaki, my bad. I forgot it was on me. And are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat.
And have come as such that they have need of milk. When you strong, you know what I'm saying? You can eat a steak, a burger. You can eat chicken. You can eat all kinds. You can eat vegetables. You can eat all of these things and digest them easily because you grown. Christ said, unless you become like one of these babes, you will not make it into the kingdom of heaven. You got to be able to digest these things that are light, these things that are easy to digest or should be easy to digest. You got to be able to break these things down before you can break down something that's more meaty, right? You have come to need milk. You like a baby. Again, now you must learn all the way over how to talk, how to walk, how to speak, how to, how to eat, how to digest, what to touch, what not to touch. These are all the things that the Lord gave us in the law, statutes, and commandments. How to deal with people, how to treat your people, how to treat other nations, how to deal with your master if you are a servant, how to deal with your servant when you are a master. All of these things was given to these are laws, statutes, and commandments. And guess what? We got to learn these things all over again based on a misrepresentation or that they done gave us. All right. So if you're in the chat, you got any questions, go ahead. I was just bringing that out. Isis, you say you didn't have no question? Isis, you say you didn't have no question?
My bad. So like I had a question last week.
Cannot mute up, cannot. Go ahead, Isis.
Right. So I had a question last week. I was asking about the it was in the question last week about the whole like the camp and campusing.
You shall see Jerusalem surrounded with armies. See that you.
And I think you said that you would read more into it or something like that.
Well, what I said was he was talking specifically about 70 AD, but I was going to ask if we could use that now as kind of like a precept, like it's the same situation. But remember when I was saying that you wouldn't want to use that based on somebody thinking that you're saying that those people in Jerusalem now were the children of God and that he was talking to them at all. You understand what I'm saying? So I did not get a chance to ask and verify. So I'm gonna stick a pin in that. Just make sure you text it to me, or I can ask it for you on Thursday in the general class, or if you need it before then, I can call Cap and ask him. But I forgot all about it, Oxalate.
So like another question. So I'm planning on doing for camp speak. All right. So the general once said, when we go out to camp, it's good to pull stunts. You know what I'm saying? Stunt on people. So
that's what he said. He said that same word. Or you
said it's stunt.
All right, go ahead.
So I was gonna pull a stunt next week if we go to camp in Palm Beach. I got a rock, and I painted Allah on the rock. I was wondering, where should I go with it? Like, should I stick mostly to like quoting some of the Quran and showing how the Quran is bad? Should I stick mostly to the Bible and showing you how you only need the Bible, or should I do a mixture of both?
All right, so the precept I'll give you is where it says, let your words be seasoned with salt, that you will know how to address all men. At this present state, with you having a shield of David, like I got one right here, middle of my forehead, someone would almost, they would dare to align you with the people that's over there in the land right now and say that you are on their side. If you standing on a rock that got Allah on it, they definitely gonna believe that you're against the Palestinian people, which you very well may be. But it's gonna be even harder to bring your point that you're also against those people who stole your identity.
Right.
So in the current era where you at, if you do that, you want to be talking mostly about how those people over there are not the people. Right. Because if you just strictly bombing on Islam, then they would say, well, we know for sure he is against the Palestinians, but we're not sure, or we believe that he is fighting for Israel, or he's against the Palestinians because he is pro-Israeli. Right. So you just want to be careful with that in the state, because they already got that. They already got that in their mind frame. Like when we was out in Orlando, when we was out there during the Palestinian protest downtown Orlando, where they were saying free Palestine, and Thamayom was blazing on them. And I was like, Thamayom, they think you support Israelis. They don't know. Now, the same way that what General Muhammad was teaching last Thursday, they don't have the power and might, and they're afraid to go and to actually check the people they're supposed to be checking, the real Israeli people that they over there fighting. So they will use us as a means to try to get off on their anger, meaning like we are the people that even if they came and fought us, they'll take us to jail. If somebody attacks us, they'll look at us like we did something wrong if somebody attacks us. So just be careful with how you bring it out. What I would do if I were you, if you're asking me that, is, whatever stunt that you're trying to prove as far as banging on the rock, I would bang on Israel, and I ain't talking about us. I would bang on those other people just as hard. I would use that to show, that, this is what the Israeli people are literally doing. Me standing on this rock is what they literally doing to the Palestinian people, is what America is literally doing to us and our God, who wants blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians on top. This is a representation of that. Some kind of way to pull those scriptures together. It's the same way I was just talking to somebody on Clubhouse. They was talking about drink my blood and eat my flesh and drink my blood. And I'm saying, well, there was no real blood drink and there was no real flesh eaten. This was symbolic of something else. So I would use that as a way of me getting into another conversation that we might have. But just remember, what we usually do that for is to get our people who is in Islam out of there. So at the same time, you have hadiths where they say Israel was turned into rats because they didn't keep the Lord. I would bring out that. You have stuff in the Quran where it talks about Israel being the people. I would bring out that, but I would continue to say over and over and over again that I am not talking about those people that's over there oppressing Palestine. I'm talking about the blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. So that's my take on it. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
All right, Most High Christ. Anything else?
No, lots.
Kanat, you got something?
Sir, I got a question.
You real low. I can't hear you.
I said, sir, I have a question.
Go ahead with your question.
It's in Revelations chapter 9.
You got me some kind of speaker or something?
Sir. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, sir?
All right, go ahead. I can hear you a little bit. In Revelations what?
9, 1 through 7.
All right, what's the question?
I want to know what did the locust represent and the death that it said that the people will seek death and they would not be able to get death. Like a general breakdown.
Revelations 9 and 1.
1 through 7.
All right. Jaheim, are you there?
God.
Louis, can you say something?
Hey, shalom, everyone.
Hey, Kanat. It's literally just you. I can hear everybody else fine. So I don't know if you want to go out and try to come back in, but I wanted you to read the scriptures that you wanted me to break down.
Salaki, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but I can barely hear you.
Hey, Salaki.
Go
I just
ahead.
got a notification from StreamYard. It said if you're using an Android.
Yeah, but it's talking about Louis though.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's fine. I can hear Louis fine. I'm looking at the same thing, brother.
Them Androids, bro.
Nah, StreamYard just hating. I can hear Louis fine. Matter of fact, Louis, read Revelations 9 and 1.
1 through 7.
It's not every Android. It's just Canucks Android.
So I just say you said Revelation 9:1.
Yeah.
Salaki.
Kind of wrong time. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 9, verse 1. And the fifth angel sounded, and the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him that was given the key of the bottomless pit. Verse 2. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, and as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. Verse 3. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. Verse 4. And he commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. Verse 5. And to them it was given that they should not slack it. And to them, let me fix the slide.
Hey, while you getting that, let me stop. All right, this is Revelations chapter 9. When you go into 8, it starts talking about, I believe from 6 or 7 on, it starts talking about these angels opening these seals. You got the trumpets being sound. Remember, this is a vision. So this is not literal, but this is what John is seeing, and it does represent something a little bit bigger than what he's saying. By the time you get to the 5th angel, okay, so what normally happens, the trump sounds, and this angel opens up a vial, and something else happens within the earth. So it's not literal what you see, but it is talking about something that happens. So it says, and when the 5th angel sounded, so now he sounds the trumpet, I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth. And this is like, the same way they say morning star, different things like that. That's what it would be talking about. It would be an angel that's there. And to him was given the key to the bottomless pit. So this bottomless pit is similar to what they talk about when they say the lake of fire or something like that. But this pit was built with the intention on something specific going into it. All right. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of that pit. So as it opens, smoke is coming out, and as the smoke of a great furnace, meaning like it was fire. So you would call this in essence like a vision of this lake, but it ain't talking about that yet. And the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke in the pit. So now, and literally, like if you're talking about what's going on the earth, it's talking about it figuratively in John's vision. So there's so much smoke within the earth, right? That's coming from the earth, from everything being on fire in this particular pit, that it darkens the sun and it darkens the earth, right? You with me so far? Cannot. All right, cool. Go ahead. Verse 3, he already read. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and was unto them was given power, as the scorpion of the earth have power. Meaning these locusts could devour, they could kill, just like a scorpion would sting somebody or whatever the case may be. These was not just like friendly locusts you see hopping around, people catching their hands. This is an insect that's totally different, and it's for the sake of destroying in the same way that a scorpion would be. It can bite you, it can harm you, right? If it wanted to. That's what kind of locust is talking about. Now, I think you asking, and I'm not sure, but I think you asking, is this literal or is this figurative? Is these locusts literally locusts or are they figurative? everything in here is figurative, but some of it is like when we talk about the fourth dimension and the third dimension, those things that transfer in the spiritual realm, they manifest themselves in the physical realm. For instance, if you got a demon, right, it might see a demon sitting on your chest. In the physical realm, you can't breathe. You understand? It might be like what's that they say when you smoke cigarettes? What's the name of that? Emphysema or something like that, right? Or asthma. But it's just a demon sitting on your chest. That's how General Muhammad described it to me. Those things that we see where a brother can't stop sinning, doing something, is something in the fourth dimension that's manifesting itself in the third dimension, if you will. So these locusts in the vision, they are literal. But I don't remember, as far as with the breakdown, was these literal locusts within the earth. But I do know that it's something that can harm the earth based on verse 4. And it was commanded to them that they should not harm the grass of the earth, neither any green thing. So now in this thing, in this breakdown or whatever, in this vision that he's having, these locusts have the power to destroy the things that we eat. Right? The things that the cows eat, the things that the birds eat, so on and so forth. But it's commanded not to at this point, but only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. So these locusts in this vision were sent to destroy those people who are not in the truth. That's what their job is. So, like, as far as like what you asking, I don't remember these being literal locusts, but I'm not 100% sure on it. But I do remember the breakdown. These locusts in this vision were in a position that they could harm everybody if they ate the green things of the earth, meaning we wouldn't have food and different things like that. But their job was only to harm those people who were not sealed, right? You with me, Canuck?
Sir, can you hear me?
No, you still kind of low, but I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm with you, sir.
All right. Did you try going out and coming back in? Try that. They had not the seal of God in their foreheads, is what it said. Let me see if the brother get back in.
So Lucky, what he might need to do is use some headphones.
Yeah, that's probably true. Maybe. Yeah, I told him to go out and come right back in. Brother might have left the truth.
See, that's what happened when you sown in folly ground, in soily ground or whatever.
When an unclean spirit is gone out of a man, it wanders through dry places. Hey, Kadak, you there?
Sir, can you hear me?
Nah, you still low, but either way, if you just mute up, because I'm getting this echo, I'm gonna go ahead and keep it moving. And to them, it is talking about the locusts. It was given that they should not kill them. It's talking about these men who are not in the truth, but that they should be tormented for 5 months. Now, this ain't no literal 5 months. These ain't literal locusts. This is all a vision. So this is a period of time. And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man. So whatever these locusts is, which I don't remember the breakdown. If anybody does, they can jog my memory. But they basically being compared to a scorpion in two different scriptures. So they ain't here to just, chew and eat grass. They're here to sting and to torment men. That's what their job is in this particular vision. And once this seal is open, they'll be unleashed in the earth to do that. And they have a command to not hurt the earth, but to hurt these people that's not in the truth. All right. Lewis, go ahead and read verse 6.
Khan. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 9, verse 6. And in those days shall the men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. verse
So
10.
they're gonna be going through so much torment, right? It's gonna be so much like I don't know if you know, like in the prophecies, it's saying that people are gonna be so hungry, they're gonna boil and eat their own kids. That was a prophecy, right? It talks about Israel doing that. It's different things that they're going through, like when it's so hot and you just want to die. You can't quench your thirst like the dude they was talking about that wanted to go into Abraham's bosom. It's so many different things that's going on within the earth throughout these when these vials are open, that men are gonna wish that they was dead, but the Lord ain't taking them out of here. The Lord is tormenting them. They are getting punishment, sore punishment, for not adhering to his word and listening to his prophets and following his son the way that he commanded them to do. So now you want to die because you think that's easier, but you left alive to starve and to go through this pain and to feel the wrath of the Lord upon you. They desiring to die, but death shall flee from them. Like you can't even get out of it. This feeling is so bad that you wish you was dead, but you can't get out of it. It's kind of like child support. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like being married to a dragon. You got to go home every night and she's breathing fire, but you can't get out of it because the Lord said you stuck with it. It's like eternal damnation right here on earth. I use that thing with a woman because there's this actual scripture that say I find more bitter than death the woman who's snares and nets and so on and so forth. So I ain't just make that up. That was a precept. Keep going out, verse 7.
And the shape of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle.
Stop right there. Could not. You see this right here? These locusts, it says, was in the shape of horses. I really don't think these are literal locusts if they shape like horses prepared to battle. They have a job to do within this earth, and these locusts, I believe it's calling them locusts for the sake of them and their ability to devour. Prepare for battle. Go ahead.
And on their heads were as it were crowns like gold.
Mm-hmm.
And their faces were as the faces of men.
Keep going.
Verse 8. And they had hair like, and they had as the hair of woman, and the teeth were as the teeth of lions.
Dang.
Verse 9. And they had breastplates, as it were breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings were as the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle.
One more.
Verse 10. And they had tails like unto scorpions, and there were stings in their tails, and their power was to hurt men 5 months.
So when you really start getting into this vision of what he's bringing out, right, you'll see that these scorpions were like angels in the breath, where they took part in a form where it's calling them locusts, but they ain't looking like no locusts you ever seen before. They look like horses. They had on crowns. They had the faces of men, hair like women, teeth like lions. They had breastplates on. This is how he's describing them. I don't 100% remember, but I believe these are nations or these could be angels. I don't remember, Kanak. I either get that answer, but I believe these are angels, but these might be angels that's over the nations. However, when you keep reading on it, you see that they have one that's called Abaddon that's over them. This is like a major one. So they like horses, right? They got the teeth of lions. They got the tail of scorpions. So this is describing some real dark, bad thing that these particular locusts are coming. I believe they are angels, and I don't think they coming to do no good. Their job is to destroy. And that's what the Lord commanded them to do for 5 months or this set period of time. And this is part of it. I don't know exactly the how deep it go, but I do understand these words are what they come for. And these are not just locusts like the same locusts that eat your crops and piss you off. They got lions of teeth, face of men, crowns, and breastplates on. So I would have to ask and get a whole breakdown on it. When it comes to Revelations, there's so much stuff in there. And if I don't have everything wrote down in front of me, I just have to go strictly and break down the scripture. But like when they start talking about who is the bear and who is the lion and the nations and all of this other stuff, I have a hard time remembering all that stuff off the top of my head. And I don't know what I end up losing a lot of my notes on it. So that's the best I can do for now. Do you understand what's going on here? Cannot, you muted. Canuck, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yes, kind of understand.
All right, so just remind me, I'll be in Thursday night's class asking a question for you and for Itizab, or I'll probably go ahead and get it answered before the Thursday. All right. Just send me the question right now, so I have it, so I can find it with the scriptures. All right. All right. Any other questions? No other questions?
Lucky other one.
Go ahead.
I didn't write the question down. Oh man. So like, yeah, maybe if you can give me a couple minutes just to look at scripture out, and I'll get back to you.
All right, no problem. Hey, in about 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, Itizab, I'm gonna be transferring over to audio only. All right. So just be prepared to hold down the class for a second. Any other questions? All right. Let's do this then.
Like you, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got a quick question too.
Nice and loud, huh? So I can hear you.
I'm trying my best. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. We come from Shem, so we Shemitic people, right?
Right.
And the heathens, like the Canaanites, they come from Ham. There was no Shemitic people before Shem, right?
There's no such thing as a Shemitic people directly means that they come from Shem, but that don't mean nothing though, because there are other heathens that come from Shem as well.
Con, sir. So okay. Well, damn that answered the question.
Yeah. Like I'll give you 2 examples real quick. Ishmael comes from Shem. Esau is Shemitic. He comes from Shem. But they not the children of Israel. Because in Isaac says thy seed be called. So even though he comes from Shem, Ishmael would be a heathen. Even though he comes from Shem, Esau would be a heathen. Because in Jacob will your seed be called.
Right, sir. So what I was more like thinking about was I was more thinking about Ham, being that they all sons of Noah, but then like how you said, like
All 18 nations on the face of the earth come from Noah. Everybody come from Noah. The Lord did the first splitting or separating of the nations with Ham, Sheth, and Japheth, and gave them all their own nation, their own land. Then these people branch out to different nations up under them. Canaan is a Hamite. Canaanites are Hamites, but they ain't the only Hamites. See what I'm saying?
sir. So would there heathens before the three sons of Ham? Like before the
three sons of Noah?
Yeah, the three sons of Noah, so like I said.
They would have been the people that the Lord drowned in the flood. Remember that the sons of God began to mate with the daughters of men. This is talking about God's elect, the people that he breathed the breath of life into Adam. He didn't do that with nobody else. So as Adam's family was created, they were supposed to stay a separate family than everybody on the planet. But they started to intermix with the other sons of man that were on the earth that were not the sons of God. You understand?
Kind of what concert. So would they be considered heathens?
Yeah, anybody who is not the elected of the Most High is considered a heathen. The heathen just means nation.
Okay, so that's what I was asking. Like,
even Israel is called the word goyim, or as they say it in modern Hebrew, goyim. You know what I'm saying? They would be called that when you include them with all the nations of the earth. The thing that separates Israel from the rest of the nations is the covenant, the land, and the law, statutes, and commandments.
Okay.
That's why when we broke them, the Lord kicked us out, and we were called Gentiles. Basically, you are not the Lord's people anymore. You are a heathen. In Amos chapter 9, he tells Israel, are you not as the Ethiopians to me? You just like a heathen. You broke the covenant. That's what separated you. You got kicked out the land. That's what separated you. And you not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. That's what separated you. You just like any other heathen. That's why Paul said, hey, you were once Gentile, carriers away to your dumb idols. Now separated, you know what I'm saying, from the commonwealth of Israel, meaning you were not the Lord's people. In Hebrews chapter 8, in Hosea chapter 8 and 8, he said, you are not my people and I am not your God. But in that same place, I would say that you are the sons of the living God. You understand?
Yeah, sir. I kind of understand. I understand that. I was just saying, like, when did we started referring to the other nations as heathens? Like, because that's why I asked, like, during the time of Noah, after the flood, his sons procreated the earth.
You will have to look it up. I want to say it's in Genesis. Let me look it up real quick. Because the word, hold on. I'll find it for you.
Because we wasn't even a nation then.
Yeah, but he still had his elect.
Right.
The Most High been choosing people since he chose Adam.
Right, sir.
You understand what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
All right, so heathen in the OT, goy rendered Gentile, heathen, and nation, but it usually is used for a non-Israelitish people, and thus meaning of Gentiles sometimes. However, it does refer to Israelites, and it gives those. But the word originally is used for them is in the New Testament. Ethnos is equivalent to the OT goy. So it goes back as far as Genesis 12, where he's talking about the nations, Genesis 12 and 2. right? It probably was used before then. I'm not sure. We could look it up. All you got to do is look up the word heathen, and the first place it comes up as a matter of fact, we can do this little exercise. I got about 5 minutes. I'll look up the word heathen. The first time it comes up, looks like is Leviticus.
So this during the time of Moses.
That's correct. However, in Genesis, that same word in the Hebrew of goy, Genesis chapter 12, it is translated as nation. Let me see when the first time nation comes up. Genesis 12 and 2, where he's talking to Abraham. It says, and I will make thee a great nation, and I will bless thee and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing.
So instead of like them being called heathens, they was called goy. Like other
no, the word heathen in the Hebrew is what they say is goyim or goy, right? Okay. But let me say it the right way. Itazal, how do you say that word? It's not goy. It's Goya, right? Gawaya. That's what that word is, right?
I'm sorry, Salaki. I didn't know I was on mute. So it's like the characters are Ga, Wa, right? For Ga, like nation. Nations is Ga, Ya, like Ga, Ya. The Y is connected to the Ga.
Got you.
Ga, Yum.
Ga, Ya is
like
nation.
Ga, Yum is nation.
Yeah, no, I'm saying the word in the Hebrew that they got is H1471. It's the Ga, Wa, and Ya.
Right.
Without the Ma, so it's not plural.
Right.
Ga, Wa, and Ya. So, anyways, my point is this is translated as nations, as heathens, and as it's another one, Gentiles, right? In the scriptures. And at that point in time, there was no Israel. He was talking to Abraham when he first used that word. Matter of fact, Genesis chapter 10, it talks about it too. But it simply just means nation or people, usually a non-Israelites, descendants of Abraham. Did I answer your question out?
So I was just wondering, since like we didn't become a nation till after the flood. I was wondering where did I was trying to remember where did.
Well, a nation is just a group of families. A family is just a group of individuals. So it's just getting bigger. We was a family prior to. That's why when you go to Genesis 10, it's breaking down the lineage of Ham. When you go in certain places, it breaks down the lineage of who these people. It tells you where Abraham come from and his family. So prior to that, it was going by family. Even the Lord in Amos chapter 3 still calls us, you only have I known out of all the families that are on the face of the earth. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the same word, but it might not be. But you get what I'm saying, right? All right, I got one more. Louis, did you find yours? Your question?
So like you said, it was I seem not to be able to find it, but it was where Caleb and I think it was Joshua, where they came to give a report of the land, but and their report was good, but the other men that Moses also sent, they brought back an evil report. I just wanted to know about that evil report. Was it because they were afraid? Was that the reason why it was an evil report?
Yeah, so basically they brought back the report of how good the land looked, but the report that they brought back, it included, okay, it included them being afraid of the people that was in the land. So it's almost like they brought it like this is the land that the Lord is delivering over to us, Caleb and them and Joshua. But the other ones was like, yeah, this land is good, but these people over here, they're afraid to go and take the land from these people. So that's what it was talking about. It wasn't evil as in they said something against the Most High, but they did question whether or not the Israelites were going to be able to go in that land and take that land, if you understand what I mean.
Come.
All right. Hey, go ahead.
Come, I need a breakdown on 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 8, sir.
All right. Can you hold that for a second? Let me transfer over. Isazah, can you just bring out something for about the next few minutes? Let me get myself together, and then I'll jump back on. All right.
All right, come on, concert. All right, what's on Christ, man? Give preaching officer Kazaka a hand. He'll be right back. All right. So I just want to, add this to what Oscar Kazak been bringing out all day, all night. You know what I mean? In America, man, in the world right now, it's important to realize that this is all happening because the Most High is going to wake up His people. The Most High is getting ready, is preparing this world to be destroyed on behalf of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. All right, so it's important to know that all of this is happening because Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians all across the world have been facing Jerusalem and praying for war. All right, that's what we've done for every Saturday. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do all the time. We read Psalms 83 and we pray for the destruction of our enemies like David prayed for the destruction of his enemies. If somebody could give me Psalms chapter 83, Baba Kushel. Keep in mind, this is all happening. It's not happening because it's not happening by accident or coincidence. Nothing is a coincidence. All right. Everything that happens in the third dimension is because the Most High is working with His angels in the fourth dimension. That's what you see happening. All right. Whoever got it, you know what I'm saying, just go ahead and read.
Come. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh.
Right, pause, right?
Verse 2.
Hold on 1 second. You understand? What you see right now is the Lord no longer being silent. You see all these attacks. You see Captain Cesario on No Jumper. You understand? You see how the earth is shifting. The earth is absolutely shifting. It's what we've prayed on. It's what we've been patient for. All right. I just want everybody to keep that in mind, that your prayers are being answered, contrary to the Christian churches. The Christian church, all the Christian church wants is for there to be peace in the Middle East. They want everybody to forgive each other. They praying for these things. These things are not happening. All right. There is no peace in the Middle East. There is no, Palestine ain't praying for Israel, and Israel ain't praying for Palestine. You understand? They both supposed to believe in whatever God they believe in. It's a religion. You understand? Your religion is based on believing in some type of God. Well, our king, you understand, in the Old Testament, King David, he prayed to the Most High that he would be not still. You understand? That he would not just sit there and allow this to continue to go on, the destruction of blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, from any longer. All right, so keep reading.
Khan, verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
What's a tumult? Does anybody know what a tumult is?
Look,
That was quick. Go ahead, Zayn. You want it back, sir?
Nah, just keep going.
Come.
I'll jump in.
Go ahead, Zayn.
like it, sir. Would it be like a uproar? Like,
Right.
okay.
Right. Give it to me in the dictionary though, Bible Cassette.
Come. I'll put it.
Let's stay in the habit of going to the dictionary, you know what I'm saying? Going to something that people can't deny, right? If it's in a book, you can't deny, even though the only book they really deny is the Bible. They'll pick up any other book, and if the book says it, they believe it. But when the Bible says it, no one cares. All right, so let's go to the dictionary real quick and get the word tumult. Keep going, Lewis, while he gets that.
Khan. And they that hate thee have lifted up their head.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 3. And have taken crafty counsel against thy people,
Mm-hmm.
and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Mm-hmm. They're taking crafty counsel
And they
against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. You understand? This right here in itself is prophetic. They have consulted against thy hidden ones. Why is it calling? Who is it calling hidden? Wow. Who is this? Who is David referring to as the hidden ones? Oh, I didn't know you were asking a question. I thought you was saying Salaki, like you didn't hear me. Go ahead, Louis.
Would that be the prophets or the nation of Israel?
Yes. So then who is it talking about? Thy people.
Okay. So like this, would the hidden ones be the prophets and
No.
obviously thy people?
No. Hold up. No. I'm asking a separate question. So
Alright,
I'm gonna take your answer for the hidden ones. The answer to the hidden ones was Tuwa. That's cool. I'm asking you, who is the thy people?
Israel.
Okay. So why is it saying it twice? If the people is Israel and the hidden ones is Israel, why is it saying it twice? What you'll find out in the Bible is that it'll say things twice to make a point. All right. So David is making he's exaggerating. He's exaggerating the point. You know what I'm saying? He's using it twice. But the hidden people are God's people. Why are they hidden? Because you don't know that they're the Israelites. You don't know who the Israelites are. It's hidden to you. You know what I'm saying? And for it to say they have taken crafty counsel against thy people, that's what happens right now to those same people. That's what happens right now in 2023. There's somebody in an Oval Office plotting to keep black people oppressed, keep black people, keep Hispanic people, keep Native Indian people in slavery. Okay, keep going.
Verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Right. Drop down to 8, right? Now, I mean, drop down to 9. Now,
Hey,
Kanaron,
hey,
Kanaron.
Salaki, yeah, I was just gonna say, if you could just let him finish out that one right there,
oh my bad, I
down
ain't
to
know.
where it said that the name of Israel will be no more. Can
Oh
you
my
just
bad,
keep
I ain't
going where
even
you
I ain't
at?
know you finished it. My bad. Go ahead,
Slakia,
Lou.
you want me to continue? Kanaron, Kan. Verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
In
So
the
so
middle, that
wait. So it says they have said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation." Right now, keep going.
Kan, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
You want to break it down, sir? Or you wanted me to break it down?
No, I just thought that that is similar to now.
Right.
The main way they want that the name of Israel to be no more in remembrance is by taking that name and applying it to people that are not the people of God. Like right now, they'll try to tell you, don't nobody know who the Israelites is unless they these people. If you say, well, we can't prove that these people is, they'll start talking about whether or not you can prove that you Israel. They want to just lump everybody up. That's why we had these conversations about whether or not Gentiles or other nations can be saved, because they saying it don't matter who the children of Israel now. All you got to do is believe in Jesus and you Israel.
Right.
They want to cut them off from being a nation, right? Meaning like they don't want us, a group of families, like what I was just talking about before I got off, a group of families to actually be a nation. So guess what they do? They divide the 12 tribes up. They divide the people within the tribes up. So now you ain't even a family no more with your family. You an individual. So how you gonna be a group of families when you they when you even not even one family? You know what I'm saying? Like your brothers can't even get along with other brothers. Judites can't get along with Judites. Much less talking about a Levite getting along with a Simeonite. So yeah, it's been going on like this since the time of David. Your oppressor has just mastered it to the point where you don't even exist in the conversation. Which side you on? Israel or Palestine? And they ain't talking about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians on neither side. It don't even got nothing to do with you when they mentioning Israel no more. I just wanted to bring that out. You can keep going up.
Nah, that's heavy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they don't want you to remember who Israel is. That's why as soon as like if you watch that movie Roots, you understand? In the movie Roots, when the main character Kunta Kinte got to America, you know what I'm saying, got put into slavery, the first thing they did was take his name from him. The very first thing they did, they told him, you Toby now. You know what I'm saying? And they had to beat that into him. And for years and years, you know why your grandmama made you Christian? Because she was afraid that if you weren't Christian, that your oppressor would take away your life. You understand? Because it's been beaten into us to just submit to those people that rule over us. It's been beaten into, like, we would rather, especially our mothers and our grandmothers, you know what I'm saying? We would rather just submit than to allow our lives to be taken. You know what I'm saying? To become martyrs for standing on what we believe and standing on, our power. You understand? And if you read the Apocrypha, that's all you're going to find. It's a bunch of martyrs who all said, I would rather lose my life than to go against my God. You understand? But they
Hey,
work.
Salagi.
Go ahead, sir.
I ain't trying to cut you off. I just was saying, like, that's a heavy point. Not only in the Apocrypha, but I mean, look at John. John was beheaded because he was going against the status quo. And then when Christ came with the truth, Christ was killed for going against the status quo.
Right.
Paul, same way. The disciples, a lot of them, they was killed or murdered. Let me say, oh, what word can I use? They was taken out of here. They
Yeah.
was taken up out of here for standing on business, standing on what they believed in. They
Right.
was not about to say, I'm just going to go along with what they got going on with the Romans. So you right about that. You was looked at. I mean, even when you get down to Stephen, you know what I'm saying? He coming back into the faith and he was stoned or whatever. We can say stone, take it up out of here.
Or
You know what I'm
slang.
saying? Yeah, he was slain. That's a good one. I'm gonna use that one. Yeah, he was slain for standing up on for what he believed in, and they was trying to take Paul up out of here plenty of times. For that, in the midst of it, he going to court and all kind of stuff. They like, yo, you ain't gonna be teaching that around here to our people. So it's been like that. So when it came time for us to stand up, like you said, we was scared we was gonna lose our lives for standing up in the face of it. But that's the whole point. That's what it was all about, being willing to carry your cross, like Christ said. That what you think he was talking about? He wasn't talking about everybody going on a literal cross. He was talking about whatever thing you got to stare in the eye and say, you know, whether you're gonna choose this thing or choose the walk with the Most High, even unto unaliving, even unto being slain. You got to be willing to do that the same way our King Christ was. It's like
No, sir. Drop down to 9, Baba Kushal. And somebody, if you don't mind, Jaheem, give me Psalm 78, I believe it is. 70. Hold on, let me see. Go ahead, Lewis.
Khan. Book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 9. Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
Do unto who?
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
What happened to the Midianites? Keep going. If you read, I think it's the Book of Judges. It shows you, you know, what happened to those Midianites. It shows you what, like, King David is about to go into all of these things that happened in history. He's gonna bring them up again and pray to God that these things happen. So what happened? Go ahead, keep reading.
As to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kisan, verse 10, which perished at Endor.
Which what?
They became as which perished at Endor.
Which were slain at Endor, whose lives were taken at Endor. What else?
They became as dung for the earth.
What is dung? Wait, Jaheem, you got that? You got the definition of tumult real quick?
Khan out of one Khan.
Go ahead.
I was gonna give it to you. Let me see how close I am off the top. Is it growl or roar or yell or something like that?
It's like yelling. It's like yelling. But Jaheem, I think Jaheem has the actual definition.
Khan, I got it. Tumult. Definition 1: the commotion, disturbance, or agitation of a multitude, usually 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 occupied with great noise, uproar, and confusion of voices.
Right. I mean, it's a cry. It's like a bunch of crying, bunch of yelling and confusion and all type of chaos going on. Right now, what is dung?
Slugger. It's like manure.
Right. It's like poop.
That's a better word than I would have used.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Like, yeah, that thing. You ever heard of a dung beetle?
Come on.
You ever heard of a dung beetle? A dung beetle is known, it's like notorious. It gets its name from, you might see them pushing pieces of poop around. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look at the dung beetle, it's probably gonna have like a ball of crap that it just pushes around. I believe, I don't know what they do with it. I didn't look that deep into it because I don't care what they're doing with it. But yeah, that's where they get the name dung beetle. You know what I'm saying? They play with crap. You know what I'm saying?
I believe they feed on feces. I believe that's what they do.
I didn't even want to know.
Salaki, sir.
Since you brought it up.
Go ahead, Kana.
See, the way you said that, you know I was about to say something crazy. Nah, I was looking at the video with Edomites. They make I think it's some kind of gin out of elephant dung.
You said they
Kind
make
of,
gin?
Yeah, they make gin
kind
out
of
of
one.
elephant dung.
Wow.
Slug son.
Go ahead.
They make it into recipe.
Come out. Go ahead. Lewis, what you said?
Slug, yeah, it's they make it. It's some Edomites that goes into the national park, and then they pick up the elephant dung, and they make this gin with it. It's like up north, like in the north of South Africa where they do that.
And they tell you it's a delicacy. This gin is probably a very expensive. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a, like they probably tell you how good this gin is, and make you want to try it. I mean, everything the Lord says unclean, they always make it
Yeah, that's crazy. You know what I mean? So do read that part again with the dung, man.
Canada one come. Book of Psalms 83, verse 10 in the middle. They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung. They are no better than some manure. All right. That's all that these nations are, man. A load of crap. All right. And this is coming from King David. He's praying to the Most High that he do unto them like he did to other nations. All right. And that's what we pray for every Saturday, man. That's what we pray for. And I pray for it in my sleep. I pray that I'll wake up and these heathens who have had us in captivity, who have oppressed our people, who have, assaulted our daughters and our wives and our mothers, you understand, who put their knees on our brothers' necks, who call us a hate group while we get terrorized in every way, shape, and form possible. You understand? Call us a hate group and racist when all we ever did was love America. All we ever did was join their military, join their religious organizations, keep all of their holidays, and do everything they ever told us to do. But we're the predators. We're the bad people. You understand? Do you know that Israel, the Israelis, are blaming the young black men of America for what's going on over there in Palestine? They blaming us. They blame young black men for what's going on between them and Hamas in the whole war, and they right to do so. I'm glad they blaming us because we are the reason, because we pray that this happen.
Right.
So to hell with it. All right. Yeah, it's our fault. And we're gonna continue to pray to our God that he makes you like dung on the earth. All right. Give me Psalms 9.
Salakia.
Go ahead, sir.
Salakia. Yeah, yeah, and on what you're saying, if we would have never pissed off our God and got kicked out the land, they wouldn't be over there fighting for it. It wouldn't be
Damn
they
right.
let it be it. So yeah, you're right. It is our fault. We went against our God. We supposed to be ruling the earth right now and have it under control where it ain't no power fighting except the one power that rules the entire earth. The creator of heaven and earth has a kingdom that will be on this earth. So if we would have been doing what we supposed to have been doing, it wouldn't have been no Hamas or no fake Israeli people over
Right.
there at all. They would have been doing what they supposed to be doing, planting crops and picking cotton and
Yeah.
cutting grass and washing toilets, all of them. So Salaki. Now what I wanted to say, I don't know when if you could just leave some time. The brother had a question in the chat about turning the other cheek. So
Okay.
I wanted to answer that question.
Yeah, you can get it back. If I could just get 79.
Yeah, do your thing.
All right, come. Jaheem, you got Psalm 79 for me about yourself?
So like Psalm 79 verse 1.
Yeah, you can start at one. And this goes exactly what you just said, also, because you know what I'm saying, this is exactly what you just said.
I got it, sir.
Go ahead.
Come on. This the book of Psalms, chapter 79, verse 1. Oh God, the heathen are coming to thine inheritance.
There it is. You know what I'm saying? It's heathens sitting in our land. It's heathen taking our name. It's heathens who are claiming the blessings that our God promised to us, man. It says, oh God, the heathen are coming to thine inheritance, man. They call themselves the sons of God. They call them the chosen ones. You understand? When that is a damn lie. Keep going.
Come on. Thy holy temple have they select. Thy holy temple have they defiled.
Mm-hmm.
Select.
You get that. They
Come
over there defiling the temple right now. You know what I'm saying? With they rainbow flag marches. Go ahead. You want to say something, Jaheim?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Come. They have laid Jerusalem on heaps.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2. The dead bodies of thy servants have they the dead bodies of thy servants have they given to be meat unto the fowls of the heaven,
Mm-hmm.
the flesh of thy saints unto the beasts of the earth.
Man, listen, like, do I even really need to break this stuff down? Here's what you gotta realize. If you don't know, I know you, if you're not in the ISUBK, you probably don't know this. If this is your first time ever watching one of these classes, you probably don't know that the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that are sitting on that corner outside yelling at the top of their lungs so that everyone can hear them and prophesying to the wind of the destruction that's coming to America and the identity that belongs to us, they are the priests. You understand? They are the servants of the Most High. They are the saints. I know you look at them as lowly Negroes who don't got a job and ain't got nothing going on, and who could ever love those people? Well, they are the saints of God. You understand? They are the chosen children of God, man. And our bodies fill up the streets, man. Our blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian brothers, sisters, and children are unalive every day in this place. And again, all we ever did was love you. All we ever did was gave our entire lives for you. You understand? But you lay our bodies in the streets and put your knee on our necks. Keep going.
Come, verse 3. Their blood have they shed like water round about Jerusalem.
It's just like it means nothing. Just shed it like water. Go ahead.
Come. And there was none to bury them. Verse 4.
You know what? That's heavy too. If you go back to I think this was I think the 20s. I think this is like the 20s. I think up until like the 40s, where okay, it might have been a little further back than that. When a slave died, so like I guess when the slave was life ended. When the slave's life ended, you know what I'm saying? They didn't have like, you know, like how you see funeral homes and stuff like that today. You got the coffin, you got tombstone. Yeah, that we didn't have none of that. We got put in a hole, and you know somebody would put a stick with a tag on it, or make a cross out of two sticks, or something like, or just put flowers there. You know what I'm saying? You would just put a pot of flowers, or plant plant a stem into the ground wherever your loved one lay. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't you didn't have like what's it called, cemeteries. You understand? You just wherever there was open grass, open field, you would go dig a hole there and put your family member in there. You know what I'm saying? Put a little flower there so people know, yeah, that's a grave site. And furthermore, those same grave sites, you know how many news articles came out because somebody wanted to press charges against some company because they were going to build over those grave sites. They did it to the Native Indians, so I mean, it's no surprise they do it to black people. You know what I'm saying? Like Officer Kazak was saying, we are one family. We are one nation. You understand? So what happens to one of us happens to all of us. You understand? We didn't have nowhere to bury our loved ones. You understand? Keep going.
Come, verse 4. So we are become a reproach to our neighbors,
Mm-hmm.
a scorn and derision to them that are round about us.
Mm. You get that? You know what I'm saying? You lazy. You know what I'm saying? You no good. What Donald Trump said about the Mexicans, man. You know what I'm saying? You are an assaulter. You know what I'm saying? I mean, all these bywords and a scorn, man. Like just you no good criminal. You know what I'm saying? Black people are 14% less likely to get a job with a clean record as opposed to their oppressor with the felony. You can look up these stats. This is true. You're 14% less likely to get that job over an oppressor with a felony, and you got a clean record. But you the no good one. You understand? You the lazy, you shiftless, and all these other things. You understand? This what we're telling you in this Bible, man, it ought to wake you up to let you know that that fantasy that you was fed in your church, that fantasy you was given to by Michael King, whose name was changed to Martin Luther King, is a lie. We're trying to wake you up. All right, keep reading.
Come, verse 5. How long, how long, Lord, would thou be angry forever?
Mm-hmm.
Shall thy jealousy burn like fire?
Mm-hmm.
Verse 6. Pour out thy wrath upon the heathen.
Do what?
Pour out thy wrath upon the heathen.
It's about that time that the Most High is done being angry with us. He sees what's happening in the ISUPK. He sees all you brothers and sisters changing your lives for the better, changing your lives to serve Him. The Most High sees how you stop eating all the things that He told you to stop eating. He sees how you stop sleeping with whoever you want to sleep with. He sees that you really genuinely want to change for Him, man. And because of that, that's all He asks. We could read Deuteronomy, you know what I'm saying, 28. You understand? All He asks is that you keep His commandments. All He asks is that you do what He says, and He'll give you the world in your hands. Now we in a time where the Lord is done being angry with us, and He's about to do exactly what David is saying. Read it again.
Come. Pour out thy wrath upon the heathen
Mm-hmm.
that have not known thee,
Mm-hmm.
and upon the kingdoms that have not called upon thy name.
Yeah. Pour out your wrath upon all the Palestinians. And this is the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I'm gonna keep it biblical. I ain't gonna say the words, right? But we can go back to 83. Stay here, but I'm just saying, referring to Psalms 83. Pour out your wrath to the Midianites. Pour out your wrath to the Edomites. Pour out your wrath to the Elamites. You understand? All of those nations. All of those nations that never knew you, that don't call onto you. They calling onto Shiva. They calling onto Allah and Buddha. You understand? Keep going. Matter of fact, we can drop that. The ISUPK prays for war, and that's why you see war in the Middle East. You understand? The Lord is answering our prayers. What you need to do is ask yourself, why is He not answering ours? And with that, Officer Kazak, you got it. If you want it, I can keep going if you want me to. Yeah. All right, well, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna give him a second. He might be doing something. Keep going, Jaheim.
Come.
Ruin my outro.
Verse 7.
Keep going.
Come. For they have devoured Jacob, and laid waste and laid waste his dwelling place.
Who is Jacob? Go ahead.
Israel.
I'm right. Jacob is Israel, but is it
Hey, Salaki, is the
everybody?
brother?
Hmm?
Is the brother? Is there somebody in your background? They
Oh man,
loud.
yeah. Hold on one second.
Yeah, let the brother know you got a class going on.
All right, keep going. Wait. Read that part again, Bubba.
Come. Verse 7 from the top. For they have devoured Jacob
Mhm.
and laid waste his dwelling place.
Right. Jacob is talking about Israel. You understand? Not everybody in the entire earth. You understand? This book ain't about everybody. But what David is saying is they devoured Jacob, they devoured Israel, and laid waste his dwelling place. That place that you see that's called Israel today, you understand? That's not the land that the Lord saved for us. You understand? Even though it physically is, physically that's the place, that's the location. But the Jerusalem that stands now is not the Jerusalem that the Lord is promising us, which is why it's going to be destroyed anyway. You understand? That war that they got going on right now is meant to destroy them. It's meant to wipe them out. It's meant to wipe out the Palestinians and clean up the entire land. All right?
Like
Go ahead.
Christ shall not one stone be on top of another.
Here you go. Most High Christ. Keep going.
Come. Verse 8. Oh, remember not against us former iniquities.
Mm-hmm.
Let thy tender mercies speedily prevent us, for we are brought very low. Verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
Help us, O God, help us, O God of our salvation, for
Of whose salvation?
our salvation.
Mm-hmm. Ours. It's possessive. Help us, O God, of our salvation. Go ahead.
Come. For the glory of thy name, and deliver us, and purge away our sins, for thy name's sake.
Keep going.
Come. Verse 10. Wherefore should the heathen say, where is their God?
Mm-hmm. Listen, man, it's time that we do away with that old body. You know what I'm saying? You gotta it's a term that we used to say in the UPK. I probably gotta switch up the wording just because of new protocols. But you have to unalive that old man that you were, or that old woman that you were. You understand? You got to become a new person. That's what this is talking about. Purging away your sins is you never being that person that you used to be. You understand? You put all the iniquities that you committed in your past life in the past, and you leave it there, and you never turn back to it. You understand? And that way, the Most High will see that and see you as a new person. He's not gonna bring up that stuff that Rob Pratt did back in the day. You're not gonna bring it up. You're not gonna bring up what Lewis did back then, or what Jaheim did back then. You understand? You not. It never happened. You understand? That's what David prayed for. But now you got Christian churches that tell you, the law is done away with. You don't have to keep the law. You know what I'm saying? You got what did he say? What the Christians be saying, man? It's been so long. Some of
Nah,
y'all know.
you said it right. I talk to them every day. The law, they saying that, you know what I'm saying, the law is done away with, or the law is just for people. The law is nailed to the cross and all kind
Right.
of stuff like that. And
Mm,
even earlier, Salaki, if I could, earlier when you was bringing out these nations, when they talking about saving these nations, right? David, a man after the Lord's own heart, was praying for their demise. He was praying that the Lord destroy them. They became as waste for the earth. Let's use that term for dung, Lewis. Waste for the earth. Like they was gone. It's a wrap. They were praying for the destruction of these nations that's coming against them, while Israelites today under Christianity is praying for them to come in and be their brothers. You see the difference? You know what I'm saying? They talking about the law is done away with and all of this other stuff. When Christ only came to redeem Israel from this from the punishment that come with not keeping the law in the first place. With breaking the law in the first place. It really don't make no sense, Itazab. I don't know how they put these things together. And when you talking to them, they acting like you the one that's slow. So you telling me God gave us rules. We broke them. And Christ need to redeem us for not following the rules, so we can not follow the rules no more. That makes sense to anybody out here? Yeah, go ahead.
So just like maybe I think I was still in the U.S., but I was just about to come home. So my wife, she showed me an article about this pastor was I think he was assassinated in church, like 6 men walked into the church, everybody on the floor and stuff like that. So they made the pastor lay down in front of the whole congregation, and I think they shot him like 6 times in the head or something like that. So moving forward, so I'm back here in South Africa. So I'm turning on the radio's on, so the news is coming on. So now the bishop, like probably like over that region or whatever of that church, he says uh, they are sick and tired of the lawlessness of South Africa. But I'm like, doesn't your very doctrine promote lawlessness because the law is done away with? So they should forgive. So yeah, they're such hypocrites when it comes to those
Absolutely.
type of things. Like
They'll tell you the laws of God are done away with, and then keep the laws of their oppressor. You know what I'm saying? They'll say you wrong for telling people that they shouldn't do certain things that God said don't do, and then tell you wrong for doing things that your oppressor said don't do. Like having more than one woman. Salakia. Oh, you should keep that law, huh? But you shouldn't keep the law that says that you shouldn't sleep with nobody else's woman. You know what I'm saying? That's a law. So it's certain things like, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, you could be a cannibal, huh? Nah, you can't be a cannibal because the U.S. law says that we serve the God of the Bible, and His laws are more important to us than the laws of our oppressor. Same way it was when David was out there, and they made a law that you couldn't pray, you know what I'm saying, to your God, and anybody caught praying was going to be thrown in the lion's den. So last time I checked, David got thrown in the lion's den twice. So he ain't cared nothing about that law. He was gonna keep the law of the Lord, and like what Itazar was bringing out too in the apocrypha, where they said, the law was you got to eat this pork because this is what the king said to do, or you was gonna be unalive. Well, they said we're gonna give it to us. We'd rather be unalive than for us to be to disobey the laws of our father. So yeah, it's crazy when you look in the Bible and you see exactly that this is the reason we in this position in the first place, and they telling you that the way to get out of it is just to believe that you don't have to follow the rules no more. That's crazy. Salaki.
Somebody else, Jaheem, you want to say something?
Come, I was gonna touch on the part that they think God is just an all-loving God. When He picked a man like David, like King David, to be king over Israel, that said, "Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones." I don't look all loving to me.
Hey Jaheim, even I'd even do you one better, David. hands were so bloody he couldn't even build a temple. And this was a man the Lord said was after his own heart. So he had the same spirit the Lord had in him while he was killing off all these heathens. The scriptures in Amos 9 say he's going to raise up the house of David as it was in the old. But that would require that he slayed so many Moabites and put garrisons in their city, and Edomites, every one of the Edomites, he slayed and had them in chains as servants. So if he gonna raise it back up, then the Lord done already said through the prophets, he gonna have it the same way David had it. So Edomites gonna be in chains, Moabites and Edomites gonna get slayed just like they was during that time. And the Lord said, "This is a man after my own heart." But they'll tell you wrong. And we just read that the brother Itazar brought out where he was praying for the demise of all these people that came. He wasn't turning the other cheek like like the brother asked the question about turning the other cheek. David was he a born Edomite when he put him in chains? He was a man after the Lord's own heart.
Right.
What you think that born Edomite mean? What y'all think it mean, or what we say it mean? David did not slay them unjustly. It was in an act of war. He was doing it for the protection of the Lord's people and so that we can gain power in the earth. These the same people that when the Lord was trying to move 7 nations greater and mightier than us out the way, they would have said, nah, just let these heathens stay in the land and live with us. When the Lord was telling you to get rid of them. Saul was told to destroy even the cattle of these lands. And he was taken in the spirit, came off of him because he didn't follow that rule. He went in and slayed all of them, but kept some of the oxen for himself. That ain't enough. Do what the Lord said to do. That's the bottom line. Salakia,
You got it, sir. That's it. That's it. That's excellent points, man. Did you finish 10?
Look. Sir.
All right, go ahead, read from the top.
Come. The book of Psalms, chapter 9, verse 10. Wherefore should the heathen say, where is their God?
Right. Like they ain't gonna be able to say where is their God. You know what I'm saying? But they can now. Like if you I don't want to take too much time, but it's a precept where it's a I think it's in the Apocrypha where if we keep them it was like look on them and see if they are obeying their God. All right. If they are, then just keep on moving, man. Don't even
it said we offend not. We offend not. That's it. Whose oppressors slay them and say we offend not.
Yeah.
Because they done went against their God. So if one of y'all could grab that for Itazar, that'll be too wild.
You know what I mean?
But
where it's like it. Wherefore should the heathen say, where is their God? Read on.
Come. Let him be known among the heathen.
Right. They gonna know who our God is. And right now they realize it. They ain't realized it yet. They realize it. I'm saying you cannot mess with those Israelites. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, this still Psalms?
This is this is song.
Hey, you know what's so crazy about that? If you read the end of that Psalms 83, everything that he was praying was so that they would know that thou whose name alone is Yahweh is the most high over all the earth. This was so God can get the glory. That's what it was for.
Right.
When he's praying for these, it wasn't for us to just, just witness it. It was so that the other nations and the heathens would know to never try nothing like that again. Remember, it said a dog should not wag his tongue against Israel. So the Lord didn't play about us when we obedient. The Lord don't play about us. But when we not, he treat us just like he treat the other nation. We as a drop of a bucket as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, like so. You know what I mean? That's excellent point. You know what I'm saying? Like these heathens gonna know that the Most High God liveth. You understand? Right now, they they could really care less about God. They mock God in everything they do. I'm saying the Lord sent Noah the rainbow. What do they use the rainbow as now? You understand? Like they could care less about our God, but yet you sit in that church and let them show you Caesar Borgia. You let them tell you pray down, bow down and pray to this image of a devil named Caesar Borgia, and you do it, and you keep Caesar Borgia's birthday every December 25th. Celebrate his birthday. You don't know whose birthday it is. You don't know what you celebrate. You understand? First of all, Christ, they don't even mention Christ's day of birth in the Bible. So where you come up with that? December 25th. You understand? You don't even
I know
know.
who birthday it is.
Right. I was gonna tell him. Go ahead, sir.
Nah, go ahead. I
I
was
was
just saying. You say you don't even know who birthday it is. I know somebody whose birthday is
Lucky.
December 25th. It's a
right,
lucky.
right. Nimrod. You understand? You don't even know you worshiping Nimrod. Ain't if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, ain't he also the sun god?
It's a lucky, sir.
Go ahead. Well, hold up. Officer Kazak.
I had to look into that
Okay,
because
well,
he was taken from a deity that I believe predates him that could or could not be. Um, I have to look into it. I'm not sure.
right. I mean, I could be wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, he has a connection to being referred to as the sun god. You understand? Of course, there were other like Greek mythologies that came in, and they had their own sun god as well. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe he was like one of the incarnations of a so-called sun god, and that leaves no mystery on why they celebrate or go to church on Sundays. You understand? But go ahead, Jaheim.
Con, sir. And that's where you get your whole Christmas celebration. Because if you didn't put gifts under the tree, well, I think it was his mother that would cut your head off and hang it on the tree. I don't know.
Yep. It's all like listen, man. You know that satanic holiday is coming up soon, so we'll probably go into that around then. I think Officer Kazak just dropped off the line. No, he want to answer that brother's question. Um, but where we at?
We at the end of verse 10.
No, the heathen. You can drop it. All right, give me that other one where it talks about we offend not. Whoever got it, Lewis. If you're reading, you on mute.
Salaki, sir. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 7. All that found them have devoured them.
Start at 6.
Kanar one Khan. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 6. My people have been lost sheep.
Mhm. That's us, man.
Their shepherd,
That's
Khan.
us. That's us right now today in 2023. Lost sheep. Don't know where to go. Don't know where we came from. So we just follow the herd. Keep going.
Their shepherds have caused them to go astray.
Mm-hmm.
They have turned them away on the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
They have gone from a mountain to a hill.
That shepherd that is talking about is your religious leaders today. That shepherd is talking about is the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people amongst you. You know what I'm saying? The Israelites amongst you who are set up to lead you. And instead of leading you, they scattered you. Now you lost. You understand? Now you're going from mountain to hill. Keep going.
They have forgotten their resting place.
Right. You don't know where you're from. You don't know where to. If you don't like, think about a resting place, right? You forget home, right? That's where you go to. That's where you rest at. You go home, you rest. Imagine you don't remember where you came from, so that you don't remember where home is. How you gonna ever get rest? You're not gonna ever have no real rest. You're not gonna have your bed. You get what I'm saying? Like you forget your resting place. You out here just stranded. You feel what I'm saying? That's the
So,
poetry of the Bible. That's how you know this is written by black people. You know what I'm saying? Don't even get me started. I want to give it back to Officer Kazak, so I don't want to be too long-winded, but let's just finish this.
Count, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
All that found them have devoured them.
Yeah, all that found us, just like Christopher Columbus found. All that found us, just like Christopher Columbus found the native Indians, have did what?
Have devoured them.
Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
So
Go ahead.
means to, like, when you get eaten up by, like, I would presume, like by a beast.
Mm-hmm. Okay. In simpler words, how would you put it?
They would be just how can I say, there's substances, like almost like your substance has been taken away, or they've been killed.
Okay. The word I was looking for was destroyed, right? But to even be
So
devoured is good too, because you know what I'm saying, like if you think about all the resources that blacks and Hispanics have contributed to America, right? You understand? Like we feed America literally, and we just get spit out like the waste. You know what I'm saying? Like we are made like the dung. We're made just like dung, to the point where we get used up, like food gets digested, and everything else just comes out the other end. You understand? Everything that you don't want comes out on the other end, and that's us right now in America. Just use us, abuse us, and leave us wherever we at to rot. Flush us down the drain, so to speak. Keep going.
and the adversary said, "We offend not."
And the police say what?
We offend not.
Yeah, the Catholic priest is gonna touch your child says what?
We offend not,
Why?
because they have sinned against their Lord.
So it's all good. Yeah, they sinned against their God. They broke the commandments of God. So therefore, we ain't even sin. We offend not. We did nothing wrong. God did this to them. We only playing our part. You understand? Like that's how they look at you. Wonder why they say, not guilty whenever the George Floyds of the world are unalived. Whenever the Tamir Rices of the world are unalived. You wonder why the verdict is always not guilty? Read that part again. We offend not.
Come. And the adversary said, "We offend not, because they have sinned against their Lord."
So what do, man? You have to turn back to the Most High. You understand? You have to show the Most High that, listen, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve to be treated like that. And you don't deserve to be treated like that. A punishment is a punishment. But when you take it as far as these people have taken it, this is an act of war, man. Here's the thing. We don't have to pick up tools to go to war against them. All we got to do is turn to our power and pray to him that he does his work. You understand? That he topples every stone in those nations, man. And with that, I'm gonna drop it. I'm gonna end it there. Officer Gazak, I know you wanted it back to answer the brother's question.
Yeah, just real quick on what you was bringing out. You see where the scriptures say, "I've seen servants on horses or princes on the ground," meaning this thing is flipped upside down. And you know what I'm saying, when it talks about Christ coming back to redeem us, if you go into John chapter 1, it said, "Them that believed on him gave them the power to become the sons of God." When you go to Revelation chapter 5, it talks about we've been redeemed back to our God, and we shall be a nation of kings and priests. Thus, us having rulership over our oppressor and us being the chosen people of God to do his will, like it says in Romans chapter 9, where it says, "Who are the Israelites to whom pertaineth the adoption and the covenants and the work of the Lord," and all of these things, right? It starts talking about all of that. So this is all the whole point is for us to get back to a place where we're not having to live up under this oppressor that's saying we offend not, but instead of serving our oppressor, we would serve the creator of heaven and earth. So that's the point. With that, real quick, the brother wanted a breakdown. If somebody could give me Matthew chapter 5, verse 36, I believe. We could probably start at verse 35. Brother was talking about
Come on, come.
turning the other cheek. And I will start off by saying this. Everything you heard about turning the other cheek, you're gonna have to get that out of your mind in order to properly understand this. What Christ was talking about in this scripture is about brotherhood. He was talking about how you treat your people. He wasn't talking about turn the other cheek, like forget Dylan, what Dylan Store and Roof did, and go and brush his hair if he unalived your brother or sister in the courtroom. He wasn't talking about you saying you forgive somebody that never asked you for forgiveness. It wasn't saying to try to make straight what the Lord made crooked. To try to hold with your hand joined in hand, the wicked will not go unpunished. So that's not what he's talking about here. He's specifically talking about how we come back as a family and deal with each other. So let's go ahead and read it, starting from um I guess from verse 35.
Come on, come. This is the book of Matthew. Matthew chapter 5, verse 35.
No, is
Know
it
by the
6?
earth that, Salaki, you say 5,
Hold on,
6 and
let me
36?
make sure. Hold on, let me make sure. 5 and 35, that's right.
Come on, come. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 35. Know by the earth, for it is his footstool. No, neither by Jerusalem, for it is the great city of the kings. Neither shalt thou swear by thy neither shalt thou swear by thy head, because thou canst not make one head white or black. Salaki.
So this is him
Verse
talking about
37.
you not being able to swear, meaning like don't swear by the throne of God. You know how people say, "I swear to God." It's not necessarily a sin, but Christ is saying you can't swear in the sense that you promise anybody anything because you don't know what's gonna happen from 1 minute to the next. It ain't in your control. You think it might be in your control, but that's why we say things like if it's the Lord's will, such and such will happen if he wants it to happen, because you can try to your hardest to do something. It's not to him that willeth nor him that runneth, but it's the Lord that showeth mercy. All right. So go ahead to verse 36. No, I'm sorry, 37.
Verse 37. But let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay. For whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil.
Yeah, so if you say anything besides yes or no, know what I'm saying? Like in the sense of you can make something happen, it's like you are in control and you must do as the same thing Christ did. Christ was the greatest man that walked the earth, and even he said, I don't have no control. I can only do what my father tell me to do. I ain't the one that's doing this, it's the Father. I ain't the one that deserve the glory, it's the Father. I ain't come for my own glory, but I came for the one that sent me. Anything that you doing more than beyond that, you not putting the Lord in his rightful place. Like he is in control. One thing to happen or one thing to not happen is all up to him. All we are is servants, right? So if you saying anything more than that, like you can make something happen, you really don't understand what's going on. Go ahead to verse 38.
Khan. Yea, ye have heard that it has been said, an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth.
Now in the law it was said an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Meaning like if your brother did something and it caused you to lose your eye, the judgment would be that he would leave his, or vice versa. And the recompense it would be that you would get back everything that was taken from you, or this person would suffer the same, right? But that law didn't stop people from doing things that they had no business. Instead of nobody having lost their eye, now two people have lost their eye. You understand, right? Keep going.
Verse 39. But I say unto you that ye resist not evil, but
That's what it's saying.
whosoever shall
So, like when it's telling you that, right? It didn't stop people from taking somebody else's eye out. It didn't stop people from, you know what I'm saying, somebody else losing something. All it did was now two people was in a bad situation instead of the one. It should have been nobody. The fact that you was gonna lose your eye should have showed you that you should never, you know what I'm saying, take nobody's eye out. The fact that you lose your arm or your tooth, you should never knock nobody's tooth out. That was the whole purpose of the law. However, people was not resisting evil. They was just doing it, and then now the judgment had to be placed on them for what they did. So he said, even though this law was there and it was placed there, you heard it in the past. The spirit behind that law is for the first person's eye to never be taken out. Not that two different people didn't have an eye. That the first person's tooth never get knocked out. Not that two people don't have a tooth. Right? It was for the first person to never be stole from. Not that the person gets stole from and then you got to take his in order to give back the other person or make it adequate that they both lose. That was the point. Keep going.
Khan. But who shall smite thee on thine right cheek, turn to him the other also.
There it is right there. So it's basically talking about get back. You got these gang wars, right? Where if you kill my cousin, if you slay my cousin, you destroy my cousin, and then we gotta come and destroy you. You somebody else's cousin. We ain't gonna run out of cousins. So now we just slaying people on both sides. The Bloods and the Crips. It ain't no end to it because you ain't running out of people. They did something to your uncle. Now you gotta go do something to their nephew. Israel was the same way. We holding things up. If me and Itazar get into it and he mess around and take my eye out, now he got to lose his eye. Well, there's two people there. What he's saying is in the spirit of brotherhood to end the war. Somebody gonna have to forgive somebody. Yeah, you took my eye out, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? We really brothers. When we gonna realize that? When I take yours out, then you will realize that. Nah, we just both got no damn eye. We just both lost. You understand? It's like somebody saying, "Yeah, you slept with my old lady, so I'm gonna sleep with yours." No, you both are adulterers now. Instead of nobody being an adulterer, Christ is saying here, if somebody that did something to you, right, and it's your family, it's your people. This is amongst. This is how we get our family back together. This is how we put back our nation together. I can't hold no grudges with you for something you did. He's talking about the spirit of forgiveness and brotherhood amongst brothers. This ain't talking about your enemies, because remember he said, those my enemies that will not have me to rule over them, bring them and slay them before my face. So he can't be talking about the same enemy he's talking about love right here. Those people that put hands on Israel, David, who is Christ's great granddaddy, was praying for them to become as waste for the earth. Christ came in the same spirit. He's sitting on David's throne. So how is he gonna let Dylan store a roof when David was praying for his demise? How he gonna let him live? That's not what he's talking about. He's talking about how we come back together as a nation. If our whole thing was, if everything you do to me, I'm gonna do it back, then it's not stopping me from doing that. But at some point, I gotta forgive you if we're gonna be family, if we're gonna move together as a nation. Those things that were done in the past, I gotta say, you know what? The brother did that, but this still my brother, this still my family. That's what he's talking about when he's saying turn the other cheek. It's not like what they show you in that Martin Luther King movie where the white man slap him and he turned the other. That's what they want you to do. Talking about. That's not what this is talking about. This is in the spirit of brotherhood, understanding that if you're gonna take his eye out just because he took yours out, then both of y'all can lose both eyes, because he might come and take your other eye out, and then he got to get his other eye taken out, and it never ends. It never ends. That's what he was talking about. So keep going.
Canaan 1 verse 40. And if any man will show thee at the law, and take away thy coat, let him have thy coat also.
So this is about brothers going to the law to decide something. Like, let them have it if it's that serious. Ain't no coat worth your brother. Ain't no material possession worth your brother. That's how you know what he's talking about here. This is in the spirit of brotherhood. Read verse 41.
Canaan 1, and who shall ever compel thee to go a mile, go with him twin.
Yeah, so like now you don't want to do something for that brother. He's asking you to do that. Go 10 steps ahead. The brother needs some food for him. You gonna give him enough food for him and his family. In the spirit of brotherhood, this whole thing is about brotherhood. It's not about loving your enemy in the sense of how they tell you, like somebody done destroyed somebody in your family or whatever the case may be, that's not your people, and you gonna act like it didn't happen. That's not what this is talking about. This is talking about being able to forgive your brother so that we can be a family again. We can become a nation again. That's what this is talking about. Specifically when it comes to Israelites that was looking at each other sideways based on something like, my family ain't mess with your family. The north side ain't never mess with the west side. The east side ain't never mess with the south side. But now we got to come together and be a family. I got to forgive you for what you did, or else we're going to fight forever. Now, how in the world are we ever going to become a nation and build an army to fight for ourselves and fight for the poor and fight for the widow and fight for the orphan if we too busy fighting each other about something that happened in the past? This is about forgiveness. And if you want to take me to war about a coat, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to give you everything. Go ahead and have that. Because really, this is about us becoming brothers at the end of the day. Go ahead to verse 42.
Canaan 1, verse 42. Give to him that asketh thee, and from him that would borrow from thee, turn not thou away.
So like when Kazak call you after class and ask you to borrow $100, you give it to him. No, I'm just joking. So like, nah, but on the real, if your people need something and you got it, why wouldn't you give it to them? That's the point. I'm joking with that. All right, that's not the breakdown. But you know what I'm saying? That's what he's talking about. There are people who have need of something, and there are people that don't. In the scripture, it say, you know what I'm saying, if your brother is hungry, you gonna give him a Bible verse? You gonna tell him to go if your brother is cold, he don't got no clothes, you gonna tell him to go and be warm? You know how the Christian church they'll say, I pray for you. And here in this school, we're taught, and General Yohana teaches that we are not to be tell somebody we gonna pray for them. We are our job is to be the answer to their prayers.
Right.
You needed some food, here go a watermelon. It's the best I can do for you. Keep going.
If I could interject, we got them watermelons.
That's why I said watermelon now.
Yeah.
Real life examples. Real life examples. Speaking of, the scriptures say when Kazak called and asked for a watermelon, hear him. Know what I'm saying? If he tell you to bring it to him way in Jacksonville, take it all the way to Georgia. Salakia, in the spirit of brotherhood. Go ahead, the last one, 43, and we'll come up off of it.
Connor 1 Con verse 43. Ye have heard that it has been said, Thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy.
Keep going.
Verse 44. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you.
Now, this ain't talking about no other nations. You got to look at the difference between what Christ, our head, our king, was doing during the time where they was trying to get him off. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like he is understanding that these brothers is just off. They really just want to keep their seats with the Romans. It's the same way with some of these other groups out here. They love their oppressors so much that they hate their own brother. But remember what Christ was saying. Like he still was giving them the law. He still then was giving them the statutes, the commandments. He was not coming at them. Even when Peter cut the man ear off, he was like, nah, that ain't how you handle this. What you got to do is be an example to that brother because he don't know no better. He's been fooled. It's a time where he ought to be teaching, but he got to learn again. At the end of the day, when it was all said and done, and he was hanging there on the cross, before he gave up the ghost, he's praying to the Lord that God still forgive them because he came for the redemption of the same nation, and they were so busy caught up in the fake power that they was getting from their oppressor, they didn't realize the real power and authority that came with following and coming back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's crazy. That's crazy. They was his enemies more so even than the oppressor at that particular time because the oppressor ain't around you. If you're looking at who's offing each other in the hood, it's us because we around us. We wasn't even around no other people. It was Caiaphas and all them people that came together talking about getting rid of Christ for the sake of keeping their seat with the Romans. Sometimes it's going to be them of your own household that's going to be your enemies. So you have to specify what enemy you talking about. Because the enemies that was the other nations, he said they will have them. He prayed for his enemies right here, but he's saying slay them in another place. There's different enemies, just like there's different brothers, just like there's different neighbors. You have to put them in the context. This particular one is talking about brotherhood. It's talking about somebody you would loan money to. It's talking about somebody who you would, you know what I'm saying, you would loan money to that would compel you to go with them somewhere and you would go with them. This has to be an Israelite or because he wouldn't have been talking about nobody else at this point in time because they wasn't even interacting with nobody else. Don't let your oppressor change this into being that you talk about letting Dylan Storm Roof come in your church and off everybody. That's not what this is talking about. This is talking about us forgiving each other for the sake of coming together as one. Even Ephraim and Judah went at it for years. They had differences, right? They fought each other. It was wars. David had to bring them back together. The Lord is trying to tell us we're going to have to end that and forgive each other for that in order for us to come back as one God, one faith, one baptism, one nation of people under the Most High. That's what he was talking about. So that's what he was giving examples of how we got to do. Somebody said Salaki?
Like I said, I just wanted to say here in verse 42, we don't borrow white people money. I just wanted to bring out that we don't borrow white people money; they borrow us. So it couldn't be white people.
Well, not even just white people, but any other nation of people that Israelites wasn't dealing with. Remember when the lady asked him for water and other things? Remember the ladies who were asking him to heal their house and all of this? They wasn't even talking to these people. They wasn't even talking to these people, so you know they wasn't talking about other nations. But they make it other nations when they're talking about the Bible because they more so want you to forgive them for the things that they did than to be able to forgive your own brother, the Israelite, the person that looked like you and the person that they oppressing just like they oppressing you. Hopefully, I answered your question, trooper of mine. With that, Itazab, you there? With that, I'm gonna pass the class over to precinct officer Itazab. Commanding General Yohana is already on.
All right, clap it up. All right. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. We are not affiliated with any so-called Hebrew Israelite group. All right. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular brother or sister, they are to seek counsel from the head. Tithes, which is a commandment. Read about it in the book of Numbers, chapter. This is my book. What is this? Anyway, you can read about it in the book of Numbers and Malachi. All right, Ma'ashra means 10. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering, not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like to give. All right, the next upcoming Holy Convocation is the Feast of Dedication, Hanukkah. All right, it's the 25th day of the 9th month, which is December 7th, Thursday. By the space of 8 days. You can read about it in the First Maccabees, chapter 4, verses 52 through 61. Also, be prepared for the Passover, which is April 20th in Durham, North Carolina, and ISUPK, Florida, Winter's War Cookout. All right, where the forecast is 100% snow-free, and it's probably gonna be the warmest place in the entire country.
Most I pray.
And you know what I'm saying? And
Hey, Salaki, if I could, Itazab.
Okay.
Just to throw this out there, the generals are putting together. Brothers are going up to New York on, I believe it's December 8th or 9th. I can't remember. So if anybody from Florida would like to go up, we probably gonna get a van and ride up together. I'm more than likely, don't worry too much about what the bill gonna be. We'll patch up, put in. Maybe General Hanna might help if we need to. We're trying to get as many brothers as willing to go up that weekend as possible. It's like a couple of weeks before the cookout and go to New York. It's predominantly gonna be in the morning from early. Everything should be over 10 to 12 to 2 o'clock in the afternoon and coming right back. You know what I'm saying? If brothers and sisters if brothers got end up wanting to stay up, probably pitch in and get a hotel or something like that. But it's all coming together. General Yohana wants to do something major in that city that particular weekend. So, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna be doing some marching, but we ain't just marching around like them other groups. We're gonna be doing some community service while we up there and showing some brotherhood at the same time. Anybody interested in going, just get with me after class, give me a call, send me a text message to say, hey, I want to go. I want to get a head count on how many people we need. so we can go ahead and get that. I can report that back to the general on how many people coming from Florida. All right. So if we went, so like I just wanted to throw that out there. You can keep going.
Yeah, if you get with Officer Kazak tomorrow, regarding that trip. If anyone would like to become a trooper, start by wearing all black. That means boots, pants, headbands, shirts, scarves. With that, I imagine. Israel, you will give a courtesy salute to the teacher in the class. I imagine Shabbat. I imagine. Barak. Yahweh Shem Yahweh
Now,
Shabbat.
Shimmy al Shabbarakatam.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbarakatum.
Yadimata, which means hands down. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Sisters can stand. Israel, Imam Shabbat. I imagine. Barak. Yahweh
Yahweh Shamar Alatham Ba Shem Yahweh Shah.
Yadimata, hands down. All right, what we said to the brothers was Most High in the name of Christ, bless you. What we said to the sisters was Most High, watch over you in the name of Christ. With that, shalom.
Hey, shalom, Israel.